And so when you talk about, some people say that fear and stress are a negative thing. I would argue that in competition or in high performance, that stress is actually needed and can be used. Maybe even fear could be used to your advantage. What is your experience with that? And don't you think there's a level of stress needed because what you're doing is really high risk, just like shooting. So you
Sure,
need to be, like you say, on point. There's a level of stress involved with that. But
sure.
then is there a tipping point on that?
I think there absolutely is. I think, yeah, a little bit of stress and maybe even a little bit of fear in the fight can help you. But yes, there is certainly excuse me, there is certainly a point where you go over that edge. Like tension in a draw, right? I mean, nobody says if you want to draw fast, you got to start by flexing every muscle in your body and hope that
Right.
speeds you up, right? That doesn't help, right? So, and
Right.
stress and fear do that to you. So there is a certain level where they're going to push you to excel, but then there is a tipping point where they're going to start becoming negative, and you're going to start reacting poorly to them.
And do you have any like approaches or strategies to controlling those? It seems like you just kind of naturally are chill, which is really weird to me. But
I
for those of us that aren't, any advice?
Well, yeah, I am a bit of an anomaly. I've always been this way, and like fighting has never really raised my heart rate much. I'm pretty calm. I get like performance anxiety because I want to perform well. But as far as like
Right.
being scared and it's just never was there. I'm kind of weird. But when I try to help other people with that, what I think is the most useful is uh, to make sure that they are training at a level that is let me think what's the right word for it. I want it to be, the challenge is low enough that it's not
Mm.
eliciting fear and
Mhm.
stress, right?
Mhm.
So like if I'm if we're training together and I'm going to teach you how to slip a punch, right? I can say, look, I'm going to punch you in the face as hard as I can. You better move out of the way because if I hit you, I'm going to break your nose. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Right? You're going to be terrified. But if I
Mhm.
start really slowly and I go, okay, I'm going to extend my arm and I'm going to tap you on the forehead and I want you to try to move. And if you don't move, I just tap you on the forehead. Then you can try to move properly without the fear of failure, without because you're not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
And then
Mhm.
as you get better with that, I start going a little bit quicker and a little bit quicker. And then maybe I make a closed fist and I put on a glove and I tap you on the forehead. And as soon as you start reaching that point where you're starting to close your eyes, you're starting to flinch, you're starting to overreact, obviously fear is getting too much, so we back off. And that's
Mhm.
what I want all the guys at the gym to do too. I want them all to push hard up until the point where they find themselves starting to make mistakes, starting to flinch, starting to react poorly to things. That's when they're going too hard, and they need to dial it back just a little bit and then stay right there.
So
I've
it's
got
an incremental exposure is what you're saying.
yeah, exactly. Well, stress inoculation.
Right. Yeah, same thing.
Yep.
Man, there's a lot of overlap. That's crazy.
I train a group of cops locally here. They come and train with us. I'm part of their DT program. And one of them is a real high level competitive shooter here. And he and I talk about it all the time, how much overlap there is. Like fighting is fighting, right? I
Yeah.
mean, if you're, if I'm fighting with my hands or he's, on the job fighting, he's part of the SWAT team, he's fighting with a gun, fighting is fighting. The mentality overlaps a lot.
Yeah, definitely.